Alright, so we just had to restart stream. So let's watch this. Alright, so before I start watching this, no matter what I say, do not send hate to this creator. Okay? They are not a bad person. Do not send hate to this creator. They are not a bad person. They are. I'm assuming they just have some bad takes. Okay, I'm assuming it's probably all not even that bad. Maybe it's probably just the Genshin community being what they are. Okay, so let's watch this.
Again, please be aware that this video contains very heavy spoilers for Genshin Impact up to version 6.4, also known as Luna 5, the current game version as of recording. So if you clicked on this video and haven't played up through these quests yet, and you are still interested in doing so, please watch this at your own risk. Also, I would like to say that while I play Genshin frequently, I'm certainly not a lore expert. It's also worth pointing out that Genshin lore only gets more confusing and convoluted as time goes on, so that might...
The fact that she says that, I feel like I should just skip right into it, 5-minute introduction. Okay, let's just skip to this. I feel like starting off the video by saying that you're not a lore person.
I'll shut it down, I'll shut it down, yeah. I'll shut it down, I'll shut it down, yeah. I'll shut it down, I'll shut it down, yeah. Hot one out there.
Like saying you're not a lore player and then like these are the chapters of where it all went wrong, not cry Columbina. I swear to God, if I hear anything about Columbina and the way like the typical Columbina thing, and then what is this one? I had first dives into the misogynist defense of son. Okay, but you can't. Let's just get into it.
So, when we talk about bad Genshin, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, Natlan. In case you're unfamiliar, Genshin bases its nations on real-world cultures in terms of...
Huh? Wait.
Let me just start by saying that Genshin fans are kind of a meats. I'm not really sure how other... So, when we talk about bad Genshin, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, Natlan.
Natlan. For those Natlan. But what do you mean bad Genshin and Natlan in the same sentence? If anything, Natlan wasn't bad though. Natlan was more like it was just the Genshin community getting mad at the fact that the characters weren't like black or whatever. That's like what people are complaining about. It's just the character skin color. I don't think anyone really had a problem with the actual like.
In case you're unfamiliar, Genshin bases its nations on real-world cultures in terms of visual inspiration, the names of the characters, and the nation's customs. Mondstadt is based largely on Germany.
Only reason why I say this is like semi-true is because when I played it and their whole thing was like freedom, I associated that with America. But like I say it's half Germany, there's some German in it, but I think it's mainly freedom, like America, RCC, Liwei, China, yeah, Japan, makes sense, yeah, South Asia, yeah, France, Mesoamerica, yeah.
Liyue on China, Inazuma on Japan, and so on. Natlan, similarly to Sumeru, is based on multiple real-world cultures, including Mesoamerican societies, Polynesian cultures, and the cultures of African peoples. It's hard to pin down what they were thinking when they picked out all of these places, each so different to represent just one nation in the game. I'm certainly not the person to listen to on if this is bad representation, but I will say I do find it odd that the regions based on parts of the world where historically many black and brown people have lived are a mishmash of many different cultures, and that the characters are whitewashed versions of these people. It just gives me...
Oh my god. Oh my god. She's one of those people. She's one of those people. Okay. She said how the characters just whitewashed versions. Dude, look, that's one of the things I hate when people realize. I hate when people say, Like, you can literally look it up. Like, let me try to find a picture. Like, you can literally look at, let's see, playable characters. Oh my god. Oh my. Here. Whitewash characters, right? Right? Whitewash characters, right? Right. Where's Mulani? Right? Whitewash characters, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5-ish. 5 out of the 11 that are like upskin or are tan. And the other ones aren't even whitewashed versions of them. Like, what?
Pause, to say the least. For many other reasons, too, Natlan was understandably poorly received by fans, at least in the United States. I'm not really sure how other parts of the world reacted to it.
I feel like if you're gonna make a video about saying how Natlan is where it went wrong, you should at least have the take from other countries and other regions in real life of how they felt with it. I feel like that would have been the more responsible or the more like proactive choice, especially with this type of video. Like, saying that was Genshin always weird and bad. Genshin has some weird moments, yes, but it's also like there's not a lot of weird moments now that I think about it. It's usually just like revealing character design, and is what people say.
It's easy to see why, though, because it's the same reasons that I didn't like Natlan. The landscapes are fine, but aesthetically, a lot of Natlan doesn't mesh well with existing aesthetics of the game. And one of the major problems people had was the character's access to modern technology and concepts like motorcycles, flying guns, rollerblades, and DJ sets. I'm not even necessarily mad at the idea of having more modern tech in Natlan, but the problems lie more in the execution. First, Natlan made a point to set up an aesthetic style for Natlanese technology, like that within the ancient Sacred Mountain area, but then they only used it in that area. If Maoika's motorcycle or Shilonen's DJ set looked anything like this, and not like sleek, modern variations of those objects, maybe they wouldn't have felt so out of place.
I feel like yeah, like when you say you're not a lore player, I can honestly see that. I can really see the fact that she's not a lore player, or she just didn't pay attention to the actual like design choice of Matline. Like, in Matline, they literally show like blueprints and all that stuff, like with those types of technology, right? And you also have to realize it's part of their character kit. Like, it's part of their character, right? Shalonen has that like music part of her, like that DJ part, right? Troshka, she has that like gun aspect, right? And since Natlan brought in a whole new like mechanic with exploration, combat, etc., it makes sense.
And another problem with the tech is that no one else in Natlan, other than the playable characters,
I'm just bathroom quick. Alright, I'm back. Oh my god, bro. Let's get back into it.
Use it at all. You don't see any other Natlanese people rollerblading or driving vehicles. They probably wouldn't feel so out of place if other people in the 6 tribes had access to this stuff. There is perhaps feel so out of place if other people in the 6 tribes had access to this stuff.
So, I get her point that it would be better if it might be better if some of the characters were more like or had the same things. But you also have to understand that I'm pretty sure I forget, but I'm pretty sure like they explain why they have certain things like this, right? Like again, Gelonins make sense. Like the characters make sense, right? That have them, like Chaska, right? Her whole thing is guns, right? Right. Her whole thing is guns. So no, that's only. Zelona, yeah, like Zelona. You see it in her design, like she seems like one of those characters like that. So I just find it like weird that she's complaining about that.
There is perhaps no location in Natlan that is so out of place as the Easy Breeze Holiday Resort. I did love the lore that this location provided for Bennett, but everything else about it is so ass, dude. It genuinely feels like...
Mind you, this isn't even an area that's like mentioned at all in the Auction Quest. This was an event island, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, it was an event island. And it's completely optional, by the way.
a different game to walk around this resort. There's a huge slide in the shape of a Caholosaurus, a dark ride a la Disneyland, a field that looks like a fucking Wii Sports golf course, and like a music festival area with a dance-off stage. I cannot stress enough how immersion breaking it is to...
When she realizes this was released, and when you realize that this area was released as a summer event thing, like this area was released in summer as a summer event for Natlan.
Explore this area. Have there been silly summer-themed areas in the past? Yes. But none of them have ever had an aesthetic on par with this one. I mean, the Golden Apple Archipelago just looks like it was taken straight out of Mondstadt or Liyue in terms of design. While
Notice how she's comparing an event from like 1.0, 2.0. I didn't play. I started playing Genshin during like 4.2, 4.3. But notice how she's saying this, comparing a 1.0, 2.0 event to a more like 5.0. It's like a 5.0, even I think 6.0. No, not 6.0. Just I think like 5.3 or 5.4 event area.
still looking very fantastical, with impossible landscapes that could only be created by a mage of incredible power like Alice.
And this looks like it belongs in Inazuma, right? When you release summer events that are like a region specific or based off of region, you have to go with how it's already established in the game.
Unfortunately, the visual aspects aren't Natlan's only faults. I and many others also found the lore and quest of this region to be pretty
Where we at? 8:32. I and many others found the Lord this region. Wait.
Frequently, I'm certainly not a lore expert.
Let's just analyze that real quick. How are you going to complain about the lore when you said yourself you're not a lore player? What the fuck?
Lore and quest of this region to be pretty lacking too. We'll start with the basics. Each nation in Tivat has a divine ideal that is represented by the Archon. So far, we've been introduced to 6 ideals of
Let's see. Freedom, contract, eternity, wisdom, justice, war, I don't know what.
7: freedom, contracts, eternity, wisdom, justice, and war. Most of these, at least to me, represent a good idea of what a divine ideal should be, something that a god is supposed to uphold in their nation. Sometimes upholding the ideal leads to conflict in the region. For example, in her upholding of eternity, Raiden Shogun sealed her borders and stole the ability to use elemental magic from her people, all for the sake of keeping Inazuma the same for all time. At the same time, Raiden herself represents the concept of eternity. She locks herself away to practice hundreds of years of meditation and uses undying puppets of herself to exact her will on the people of her nation. It's honestly very upsetting the way that they rushed through her arc so much, because I think she would.
Her arc was rushed? Her arc was not rushed. What? Dude, she probably wanted like horrible pacing, dude. Like Genshin's a story game. They have to back then like they wanted to keep their stuff short, concise and all this stuff. Would it be cool to have some more world building on like the whole Raiden like logging herself away part? Yeah. In the main story at least, but that's what character quests are for. Raiden has 2 character quests, I'm pretty sure.
Have made for such a compelling character otherwise. Now think about Mawika in the same way, with regards to her divine ideal, which is war. How does she represent war? Well, she
Her divine. This is how I know she didn't even pay attention. I'm not a lore reader, she said. I'm not a lore player, she says. Then completely mischaracterizes Mawika and completely mischaracterizes what that whole thing was. Mawika doesn't. She doesn't like war. Mawika was like that whole war thing was forced upon her, right? As the fact that she's a human and she just inherited the Archon status.
He's fighting a war against the Abyss, like everybody else in Tivat. Yeah, maybe they have it worse than other nations, but still, what happens when the war ends?
First of all, she obviously did not pay attention whatsoever. Bro, I didn't even pay attention in the non-cry story, and I can still tell you what happened in that. And I'd even watch no like whole 2 hour long lore videos and whatever. But like when are you gonna realize that the Abyss and Atlan are basically like intertwined? Like yeah, like the entire I think so is the entirety of Tavad, but like Atlan is that intertwined. You know, the whole pilgrimage thing. The whole reason why they really went to war with the Abyss in the first place was because of the fact that during the pilgrimage, the whole sacred flame thing happened. Kachina literally almost permanently died, and I don't know. I just kind of find this like very like just looking at stuff from a glance.
Which it does at the end of the Archon quest. It's not like Mawika is some battle-crazed maniac. At most, she's just kind of thoughtless and reckless in her actions.
thoughtless and reckless in her actions. She had a whole plan she had a whole 500-year plan. That's not thoughtless. Was it like risky and you could say reckless? Maybe. But what else would you have done?
You see how war doesn't really work as a divine ideal, and least of all with Mawika as its representative? Also, it's a nation of war made up of 6 different factions, and yet there's absolutely no conflict between them. It really just doesn't.
Because they're united. What? The game literally, like they're all different, like you could call them factions, but like different groups. They're united, okay? They're not. It's not like Inazuma, where there's the Shogun army, and then there's the people. There's like the rebellious people. The people of Inazuma who are just like, yeah, no, this isn't cool. This is bad, right? Why would you think that having all of these 6 tribes go to war, or with each other, or just hate each other, or have some sort of conflict with each other, be good? Like, why? How that would be good?
Make any sense. This is why I personally always thought it would be cool if the Pyro Archon was a villain to her people. Maybe she makes them fight each other, gladiator style.
What? You want Moika to have people fight, her own people fight each other without any other recollection, right? Mind you, I said this earlier. The pilgrimage, people battle. They battle each other, and who's strongest whoever comes out victorious, goes and helps fight against the abyss. It's a yearly thing. Like the game says.
For her own entertainment. And then maybe we would have a better rebellion storyline than Inazuma with an Archon that's completely irredeemable. Because
What? Why does she want an irredeemable god? What? And the Inazuma Rebellion storyline was good. That was good. What?
we certainly know that the Cryo Archon is gonna get redeemed in some way if she's
This isn't confirmed, by the way.
ever going to become
And of this video being out, of this video come out 2 weeks ago. That still not even confirmed.
playable. We will also touch on that in a later section in more detail. Instead, in Mawika, we have an Archon who is a Mary Sue. Ironic when she's the only Archon who is actually a human and would likely have the most flaws out of any of them.
She's a Mary Sue and she's flawed. Wait a second. Oh, she just said. So if someone's lacking in flaws, I'm gonna say she has the most flaws out. You're just contradicting yourself.
The thing is, Mawika is very flawed. She is extremely irresponsible and brash, even when it will put the lives of her entire
Irresponsible, brash. What the fuck are we saying?
nation at stake. Her nation is at war with the Abyss, and she's like, well, best thing I can do for you guys now is go to sleep for 500 years and hope and pray that the heroes I need will appear to me when I need them.
I like how she cut off the intelligent part. She literally died. She didn't just go to sleep for hours. She metaphorically kind of died, saying she sacrificed her life. Like she wanted. Back then, she couldn't really do anything, so that's why she was like, you know what? This is probably the best option I have. Is it risky? Yes. Capitano literally says, hey, I don't think you should do this. Is it really risky? But she's like, this is the only thing I can do. Like, what would you rather do? A 500-year war? We're not going back to that, right?
Builders. It's not our job title. It's a mindset. Base 44.
What? That is crazy of you! And yet the game tries to make me feel bad for her for doing this. The game, instead of pointing out how terrible and risky this plan is, just focuses on the fact that Mawika had to say goodbye to her family in order to put this plan into action. Dog, I do not care. The writing doesn't focus at all on what's important here. It just makes her out to be the...
Sorry. So, if Lohan, or I should say Lohan, should I say Lohan? He's one of the most recent characters, so I think I mean, she probably knows about Lohan, though. So, like, if the Nodkai characters, like, I'm assuming she likes Lohan, based off of what I've seen on TikTok. If Lohan had to leave all his family, all his friends, and say goodbye to everything he basically loved, you tell me, and she would be probably okay with that, but seconds with Mo Weekend, it's actually part of her, like, plot and storyline, then it's all like, oh, no.
Perfect Archon who's good at everything and refuses to fail.
Also, I personally think if Moika was evil, we have to go after. We already went against Raiden, right? That whole thing, nah. I personally don't think Moika is the type of person to be evil. Like, even before we knew anything about what her character was, just her character design does not show anything evil, right? Raiden, yes. Like, you can go down in order. Venti, no. Zhongli, eh. Inazuma, Raiden, yes. Right? I think went to Sumeru after that, I'm pretty sure. Sumeru, nothing. Look how a fucking kid. No. Fontaine, Farina. She's less of a you don't really fight her physically, you fight her like at her own games, right? Farina's my favorite Archon. And no, Moika does not look like she would be evil.
There were no...
She would call Moika Hitler though. But that's like a joke though.
No memorable parts of that quest for me, except for maybe the final battle. And it's not even like the characters here can make up for this nation's incredibly boring and stupid story. For me,
boring and stupid story. Hey, write a better story than the outline one we have right now. But everybody will like. You can. Right? Like, obviously, some people are going to be like, yeah, oh, this is so bad, or oh, this is so good. You know, there's obviously going to be people who voice their own opinions about this. But they're not going to be like, oh, everything in Outline is bad besides the map design. And even that she was shitting on too. Like, the characters are cool. You're telling me none, even if you hated the story, you're telling me none of the characters appeal to you? What? I know she had a horrible time doing Abyss that time. I already know, bro. Oh my god.
all of them were so nothing. It boggles my mind that so many of y'all are shipping these MFs together when they barely have interesting relationships with each other at all.
Mind you, like I'll say some things I personally see a lot. Jalona and Moika. Jalona and literally, and both Moika and Jalona say that they like helping each other and they help each other a lot. Mulan and Kanich, people ship them because like they have that dynamic together. They have like that best friend, coded dynamic. I'm trying to think. Sitlali and Ororon, right? No one really ships them too because that's more like a granddaughter or grandson. Granny eats Lee, she looks over Ororon. Like they have that dynamic there going for them. But like these characters have established relationships or friendships, relationships, and or friendships with each other from the start of the like thing. Like as soon as you meet them, you kind of like as you kind of like get introduced to that connection with them, right? Chaska doesn't really have any like romantic, connections with them, but Chaska's chill with like almost everybody. Eon-san, you have Eon-san, which she's chill with a lot of the people there. You have Aoife, who's also chill there. You have Varessa, Varessa's there. She's just a bull, She just likes to eat. Like, yeah, like okay.
I feel like all of their personalities could be explained in one word. Mulan is bubbly, Kanich is standoffish, Kachina is insecure.
Kachina's a fucking child who almost permanently died. By the way, Kachina is a child, first of all, who almost permanently dies. I think we're severely we're severely forgetting that fact. Basically died, right? And she's also a fucking kid. A lot of the, especially with like the fact that she's expected to be strong, right? And she gets made fun of the fact that she's not that strong. So like obviously she's gonna be insecure about that. What? Again, she almost fucking died permanently.
Verissa, she eats a lot. Is standoffish. Kachina is insecure. Verissa, she eats a lot.
She eats a lot. Yo, son. That's 4 words. Hey, that's 4 words. That's not one word like you said. But Veressa's Veressa. Like, God forbid God forbid Hoyoverse adds characters into the game that were not in the story. Like, yeah, you'll see people making fun. You'll see people like joking around about it. Like, Lohan have some feats in the Archon. Lohan be mentioned in the Archon quest whatsoever, or be in the Archon quest for at least one line of dialogue or whatever. And it's like that. Same thing with Ressa. I saw a lot, but and technically Nefa is from Natlan, but you have to also understand like Genshin at the end of the day, like if they want to add a character that's not in the store and not in the Archon class, like Mizuki, Veressa, Lohan, people they add those characters because they're like, oh yeah, no, this is a cool character, I wouldn't mind having this character in the game, like the Genshin design team, and Genshin has that like formula where they reset like release a set amount of new characters per region, right? Natland had I think what 11 or 12. Nodcry had like another 11 or 12, I'm pretty sure, and like on so forth and so forth. So they like releasing a lot of these characters in order to like keep that like momentum going and transition into the next place, because if you just went from one whole area with brand new characters and then you had that whole downtime with no new characters and nothing, no one's gonna be interested in the and you have to also figure out like who should I rerun alongside like these, who should I rerun, right? That is something a Hoyoverse has to go through, like especially when it comes to Archons. Like when you're introducing a new Archon, a lot of the times the Hoyoverse will rerun the Archons before the new Archon releases or after or at the same time. You have to like plan out when certain things are rerunning and when you're releasing certain characters and what characters you want to rerun alongside those characters, if that makes sense.
And Mawika, what can be said that I haven't already touched on? She's good at everything. She's the perfect Archon, and even her reckless plan for saving her nation isn't questioned by anyone.
You just called her a Mary Sue, and then you said you called her a Mary Sue, and then you said that she's full of flaws because she's a human. What?
that matters or treated by the game as risky at all, even though it is.
Capitano literally says that, hey, I don't think you should do this because it's risky. Like, dude, you obviously don't pay attention to. Hell, not even just the lore, the entire fucking story. The game literally says that, yeah, no, this is a risky plan. You should, you shouldn't do this. Capitano literally tries to talk her out of it.
And in the end, she just defeats the Abyss with the power of friendship. It reminds me of that TikTok where they had the cutscene with all the heroes side by side with the clip from My Little Pony Equestria Girls. The writers go out of their way to make Mawika seem like.
Okay, but like, when are we gonna realize that then that's Natland? When are we gonna realize that like the whole power of friendship thing literally works with Natland? Like that's how they defeat the Abyss. That's how they gain. That's how they like. That's how Natland isn't in shambles, because Natland uses that like, oh yeah, you're my friend, you're my partner here. We're gonna lock in and we're gonna defeat the Abyss. That's how they communicate with each other. Ugh.
The coolest person ever, when in reality she has like no personality. Like, can we talk about how her trailer,
Quote unquote, no personality? How are you gonna call her a Mary Sue and then she has no personality?
was just this cringe ass music video where all of the nation heroes are playing instruments in a band? Oh my god. It's like literally unbearable to watch. And it's not
Hard watch, and don't fucking watch it. Also, didn't early in the video she literally fucking said that the music was and still is amazing. What?
like any of the other characters do anything to move the plot forward.
None of the other characters do anything to move the plot forward. Okay, remove all the other characters besides Moeka. Tell me how the fuck that's gonna go. If she didn't have Jelona, and she didn't have Mulan, Kanish, Kachina, all of those other characters, how the fuck was she gonna defeat the Abyss all by herself?
Region doesn't even know how to treat its lore-relevant characters as such. Auroran and Eon-san are the Natlan heroes from the Masters of the Nightwind and the Collective of Plenty, respectively, but I guess they're not important enough to be the focuses of the Tribal Chronicles. Instead, those honors are given to Citlali and Varesa, to be the focuses of the Tribal Chronicles.
Orioron here literally has like almost an entire Natlan arc dedicated to like his connection. Eon-san, no one cares about Eon-san. Dude, I don't even think Eon-san was barely even in the Archon quest. Like, no one really cares about Eon-san. However, not care about Eon-san enough to make her have her own like tribal chronicle thing.
Instead, those honors are given to Citlali and Varesa.
So again, Citlali's her spirit seeking connection, like that literally has some. There's a whole like world quest, that important one too, because it unlocks an area. That Fog Island that's in Outland. Yeah, no, there's an entire Archon quest where, not Archon quest, world quest, that if you go to that Fog Island, it literally helps you and literally encourages you to use the Masters of the Nightwind, the Lali, Auroron, those people for Varesa. You see how you see how the Collectors of Plenty, I'm pretty sure that's what it was, is they have the balls, they have the whole thing, their thing is really uptight, the, having Varesa that representative for it makes sense. Also, they're not gonna have 4-star characters have their own dedicated like whole like thing for a whole nation. Like Tribal Chronicles, those are reserved for the 5 stars. They're not gonna give that to a 4-star.
The latter of which we hadn't even met during the Natlan Archon quest. She
Also, nobody cares about Yonson enough to have that Tribal Chronicle quest. I said that before, but no one cares enough, bro.
was literally invented just to take Yonsan's place. I wonder why that is. It was literally invented just to take Yonsan's place.
Or hear me out. They didn't want a 4-star character not again. Would you rather have a 4-star character that's barely even mentioned in the Archon quest and barely plays any role in the Archon quest have the main focus of a 3-part Tribal Chronicle quest, or have it as Varessa, who, first of all, Eonson doesn't even really fit. Like her design and all that stuff is cool. Like she fits in with it. But like, look at Varessa's and look at Eonson's. Now compare them to what you see in the Clutchers of Plenty. You see the bowls. You see all this stuff. Varessa's makes sense.
I wonder why that is.
And then she wants to bring up the whole race thing. Like, no, just because there's one thing's lighter skin color than the other, and the other that has zero correlation.
In any case, most of the important actions are driven by Mawika and the Traveler. So,
holy shit! We play as a traveler. Holy shit! We have to. We help Mawika. Holy shit! Most of the actions are done by us and the Archon, the god, the person who wants to save this. Oh my god!
none of these characters feel important at all. They're just.
I'm skipping this chapter, dude. This is pissing me off. The Genshin villain problem. What the fuck? What problem do we have with Nodcry and the villain problem? There's no villain problem in Genshin.
It's hard to forget how hyped people were when the first trailer for the new area of Tevat, Nodcry, was released. Nodcry is a subnation of Snezhnaya, the last of the 7 nations we were supposed to visit in our search for our lost twin, so naturally the lore is getting pretty intense here. But the reaction to seeing so many lore-relevant characters in one trailer was immense. We got first glimpses of 2 members of the Hexen Circle, Alice and Nicole, the Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, Varka, who we'd only heard about in passing until this point, and 2 Fatui Harbingers that hadn't appeared we'd only heard about in passing until
Daddy Varka. I'm sorry. But what are you gonna complain about then?
this point, and 2 Fatui Harbingers that hadn't appeared on screen before, Sandrone and Columbina.
It depends on how you want to define on screen, because like not a lot of none of the future characters never appear on screen. Like, what? Okay, it gets to a certain point. Like, if you're in Natland, you're not gonna show like Nodcry characters on screen, right? You're not gonna, unless they have major lore relevance to other like nations, they're not gonna put them on screen. Just like how you don't see any Snezhnaya characters on screen. Even though there's some Snezhnaya characters, I'm assuming, who are probably going to be very lore relevant, right? That's because that's their own region, you know. There's a lot of there's a whole thing. Varka was mentioned a lot, and Varka, I don't remember if he was shown or not, but see, Varka was mentioned a lot. You know, you had those things.
Every look we got was very fleeting, and it was hard to glean any info from this trailer alone, but people were still so excited. Imagine what Nodcry has in store if there's so many important
I only really saw people glazing I only really saw hype around Columbia. I didn't really see any hype around any of the other characters.
characters here, ones that we've only heard whispers about prior. Well, Nodcry is better than Natlan by a long shot, but would you hate me if I said that this also disappointed me?
Nodcry is disappointing? Excuse me? Huh? What do you mean Nodcry is disappointing? What do you mean? What are we saying? Genuinely, what are we on? Nodcry was disappointing. How? How is Nodcry disappointing? Nodcry had that whole like. Nodcry had that whole. Oh yeah. Um, it's chill, but there's people after this thing, and then the Tori comes in like. He's like, oh yeah, I'm a slime. I'm gonna become a fake god. I'm gonna be a false moon god now. Fuck you, Columbia. So like, it makes sense, like the
Don't get me wrong, Nodcry in a lot of ways was kind of a positive return to form for Genshin. First of all, these characters actually feel like they know each other past, teehee, we're all best buddies. Aino and Anefa are so sweet, Varka and Flynn's are hilarious together, and Nefer and Lauma have some of the craziest Yuri subtext since Beidou and Ningguang.
notice how she completely avoids Yehoda in that, and only goes after the 5-star. And 5 stars with the Silk of Aino, of course, because I'm just goaded. Dude, also, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, when is she gonna realize the Nodcry characters also have their own, like, tribes, their own, like, groups, and they also come together and just chill and hang out? Like, when are they gonna realize this? It's just less obvious with Nodcry than it is with Natlan, and people glaze that.
These characters feel more real as a result of their relationships with each other. I could enumerate more about them based on how they interact with others. Crazy, right? It made for a more interesting quest.
I love how she's talking about character lore and shit when she says she's no lore player. But, like, they also do that with Nodcry. What?
Too, one that I could more easily become invested in. Nodcry did a lot of stuff right, but the true problem with the region unfortunately falls on the back of one character for me. One that was so highly anticipated, not just by me, but by so many people in this fandom, but she delivered so little. Columbina. I know, there's a lot of Columbina lovers.
She didn't deliver a little. What? She didn't deliver little. Wait. Also, people were always saying that Columbina is going to be this biblically accurate angel. How do you want them to implement that? Please tell me. How do you want Columbina to be implemented as like this scary biblically accurate angel or the seraphim or all of that stuff? How do you want that to be implemented? Genuinely, tell me how. Because one, Genshin's not that type of game. Genshin doesn't release scary characters. Genshin doesn't want to release those types of characters because a lot of their audience are younger kids, teenagers, right? They want to appeal to those those kids more than they appeal to like the adults with the scariness. That's why Genshin tackles the mature themes in like a quiet, like you really actually have to read in order to see it type of way, because if they're just all up in their face about suicide, depression, mental health, mental disorders, then obviously people aren't gonna the kids are gonna be like bummed out the entire time and all that stuff. So that's why you can't like introduce scary characters and all that. It's not mumbo jumbo. I swear to God, she pulls that seraphim shit, dude.
Out there, but I'm sorry. There are so many reasons I cannot stand this woman, and part of it is because she's a complete disappointment. You might be familiar with the way that people thought Columbina was going to be a creepy character.
She's a disappointment. Third strongest harbinger, by the way. Technically the first now since Capitano is dead, and the Torre is basically dead now for the second time. She's strongest harbinger now.
Maybe leaning into the biblically accurate angel aesthetic. there was a super popular theory that Columbina was a member of the canonical angel.
Sealies are not angels. They're just evolved from angels. What are we talking about? She pulls up the fact that she says, "Oh yeah, she could have been an angel," and pulls up the fact that Sealies aren't angels. They're just devolved forms of angels. A devolved form of something is not something. A devolved form of a tiger is not a tiger. A devolved form of a god is not a god. A devolved form of an angel is not an angel.
Race, so this would make sense in a way. This creepy aesthetic for Columbina was also explored in a beautiful animation for Hoyo Fair called Stairway to Heaven by Kieru. The imagery is so spooky and it uses like analog horror elements, and if you haven't seen it, you should watch it after this. Oh my god, it's amazing.
Dude, we're using fan animations for this shit now? What are we doing? Why are we using fan animations as a way to justify this? This makes no sense.
And this assumption that Columbina would be scary was not for nothing. People are always like, you just had an image in your head of what you wanted Columbina to be, and now you're disappointed that it didn't happen. And even if that is partially why people are disappointed,
Because the Genshin community, because most of the Genshin people are spoiled brats who like, oh, the character that got released isn't how you think they are. Boo, Genshin, a horrible fucking name. No, like, okay, God, Columbina isn't some Seraphim, whatever the fuck. Why are you crying about it? You're still gonna pull her regardless, and you're still gonna be like, oh my gosh, she's so good. Like, what?
there is still in-game evidence and evidence in lore-relevant YouTube videos to support what people thought about her. Let's go over some, shall we? 1.
Earn Roblox digital gift cards with Microsoft Rewards. Sign up for Microsoft Rewards and earn.
Fun fact, actually, I'm not gonna leak the method.
Columbina's appearance. Let's go over what we knew she looked like from our first look at her, the Winter Nights Lotso trailer. First, she has black and dark pink hair, colors that do not suggest something delicate or gentle. However, these dark colors are paired with Columbina's winged headdress.
Also, in game has that. That's fucking hair color, gangling. That's just hair color.
Made of white feathers like dove wings. Not only does this mirror her name, Columbina, which means little dove, it also bears the appearance of a seraph, a type of angel in Christian theology. Seraphs typically have 3 pairs of wings and have the role of singing the praises of their god. Considering Columbina was a Fatui harbinger, maybe the praises that she was singing were for the Tsaritsa. Columbina is also clearly wearing a black and pink outfit under her Fatui coat.
That's her fucking hair. That's her fucking hair. What are we doing?
Something that they very evidently dropped in her final design. Finally, Columbina has her eyes covered, suggesting maybe an unfeeling or uncaring personality, or maybe some mysterious power that lies behind her eyes.
What? What you're telling me? You look at this, and you think mysterious power lines about her eyes.
2. Columbina's actions. In the trailer, she is singing a soft lullaby, smiling gently while laying along the coffin of her recently deceased fellow harbinger. I don't care what anyone says, that's creepy. It shows that she kind of has this detached attitude regarding death.
Or, hear me out now. Maybe she was singing a song to mourn the death of a comrade. Ever thought of that?
Especially of her own colleague. 3. What other characters say about her. Child's voice line about his fellow Harbinger points the most to a scary character in Columbina.
The Fatui Harbingers are ranked by strength, and I have no idea why that girl is number 3. I'd test my skills with every Harbinger who ranks above me if I had the chance. But when it comes to her, something just doesn't feel right. Anyway, you should be careful around her.
Even Child sounded scared to challenge her to a battle, and he loves fighting with strong opponents. Scaramouche also suggests staying away from her and implies that she is not as innocent as she seems.
Let me ask. What should you do if you were to encounter a damsel who is oblivious and innocent at any given time, and unconcerned and unfeeling in any given situation? If it were me, I could at least challenge her to a fight. But if it were you, with your conscience, I would stay away from her.
The way that I've seen people defend this is by saying that Child and Scaramouche are bad at reading people, and they didn't know her that well, so of course their assumption would be wrong.
Their assumption is that she's scared. Their assumption is that something's not right. And that there's something to her, which there was. She's a moon goddess. That's what. It's not necessarily the fact that she's scared. It's that there's something that she's hiding.
They just knew that she was powerful. Dude, you are not getting at the reason why these voice lines are put in the game. Yes, they are useful for showing the relationships between characters and what characters think about each other.
They're there to show us their connection and show us what to think about them, right? And give us some sort of insight as to what the character is like.
But they should also be used to provide
Keyword should. Keyword should.
hints and information about characters that we haven't met yet. If you put in a voice line about Columbina not being what she seems, then people are going to listen to that and assume that she's not what she seems, and they're...
Yeah, she was a moon goddess. She's not what she seems. What? I feel like there's people have such a people blur the lines between what they want and what realistically would make more sense. When I first saw Columbine, I was like, oh, she's probably gonna be the god of the region.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think people just aren't willing to admit that Genshin has bad and inconsistent writing sometimes.
Genshin does not have bad and inconsistent writing. Genshin, after Fontaine, no, even during Fontaine, Genshin kind of forces you to pay attention and read, right? To understand, yeah, this is what it means. Oh, they said this earlier on the Archon quest. And they said this earlier on in the Archon quest. So this is what they were talking about. Oh, I see. Their structure is basically think of it like this. Person A walks to person B's house. Person A sees something suspicious in one of the rooms in person B's house. Person A doesn't ask person B, but person B, later on into the plot, after an hour or so, says something about the weird mysterious room, right? And then person A is just like, oh, okay. And then later on, person B then shows and says, yeah, no, this is what is in this mysterious room. This is what this mysterious room is. That is how Genshin's thing works. Genshin isn't going to just tell you everything. Genshin is just going to be like, person A saw mysterious room. Person B says person A walks into house. Person A points out mysterious room. Person B says mysterious room is this, and then person A is just like, okay. Person B is just like, yeah. They're not gonna do it like that. They're not gonna do straightforward. They're gonna make you have to jump in between and back and forth.
Fourth, Her rank. Columbina was long known to be the third harbinger. It's also been known for a long
Columbia. Okay. Okay, so let's just. Capitano is dead. Tatar is dead. Uh, Scaramouche would be fourth. Arlecchino would be second. Third. Arlecchino would be second. Columbia would be first. Sandrane would be fourth. Child would be fifth. They lost the majority of their members.
time that the closer they are to number 1 in the rankings, the more powerful they are. Columbina being number 3, especially right below Dottore, who is notably unhinged and evil, suggests that she is not only similarly powerful, but also similarly devoted to her work as part of a major villain faction.
Their rank is based off of strength, not like devotion. I mean, as it says in this thing here, like as it says here, Capitano is incapacitated, Dottore is dead, Colmina left, Arlecchino and them are still there, Scaramouche left, Sandrone Quonco is dead, Neo Signor is dead, Pantalone and Tartaglia, like she's not even in it anymore. So and their thing is determined by strength. Child is the weakest, so he's gonna be the least one, right?
A long time that the closer they are to number 1 in the rankings, the more powerful they are. Similarly, people had about Columbina. I'm tired of people pretending that it wasn't there, and I'm tired of people pretending that it wouldn't have worked tonally. There is literally a villain who does human experimentation. There was literally a genocide in Conria. But no. Instead, we learn that Columbina is actually a moon goddess? Okay, sure. But also she's actually just a damsel in distress, like her name suggests. She's timid and soft-spoken and gentle, and she's shy at first, but eventually opens up to you, and you are the most special person in her life, even though you've known her for maybe 2 weeks. I cannot stand how willfully obtuse people will be about Columbina, pretending not to see the fan service that is sitting right in front of them. She hides behind the Traveler when she doesn't know how to talk to people. Aww,
That's a normal thing. If you're a god and you see someone you don't like, you don't really talk to people, and you're scared to talk to people, and the one person that you're actually good to talk to, right? And you see somebody new, obviously you're gonna be like hiding behind them and actually like nervous. Like that's just common freaking sense. What are we doing, bro?
likes to eat snacks. Aww, you get to feed her during Moon Prayer Night while the English VA is moaning into the mic every 2 seconds. Oh,
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, she likes snacks, just like the majority of the characters in this game. Like almost all the characters in this game like snacks. I think that's something we call a character trait, right? Right. That's not even a character trait. That's just like a normal thing. Who doesn't like snacks?
Aww, she's so weak. She can't do anything by herself and probably would have died if the Traveler hadn't rescued her. Aww. People like
She's the third strongest harbinger. She's ranked 3 with all the harbingers and while they're alive. And quite literally said that has said that she's a moon goddess. Like and the also you saw Nodcry, you saw the thing, and you're just like, okay, so this makes so much sense for her to be a moon goddess, you know?
to pretend that it's somehow misogynistic to point this out. Again, purposefully ignoring that Hoyo is writing her this way intentionally. Guys, I kid you not, she literally turns invisible for a significant portion of the Archon quest. I promise you.
Didn't she die for like 2 weeks in the Archon quest? Didn't she die for a little bit? I'm pretty sure that was one of the reasons some people didn't get their wings fast enough, was because she was quite literally dead. She was quite literally dead for a little bit. What are we saying? What are we doing, bro?
That is not feminist. And it's not even like the moon goddess thing makes any sense. They even come up with some last-minute reason why she covers her eyes. There was a time when I refused to look upon the world. I believed it was full of nothing but lies and falsehoods. I wished to hide my feelings, seal my heart, until I could return to my true home. Oh my god. If this
That's a valid reason though. If you're a moon goddess and you see, oh yeah, no, this looks really bad and all this stuff. Oh yeah, I'm gonna cover my eyes. I'm going to not pay attention to all of like this mumbo jumbo. Like that's not even like a pathetic reason. Mind you, you can also take off her mask, right? And she opens her eyes multiple times. And like no, like as soon when you get Columbina, you have the option to take her mask off.
is what they originally planned to do with her, which it wasn't, then she was a god.
How do you know that's how do you know if that was what they originally planned to do with her or not? How do you know that? You're not a Genshin developer, you're not a oil dev. How do you know that's what they planned to do with her?
Goddamn waste of a harbinger slot. It is so clear to me that she was never their original intention for the moon goddess. Her design suffers so bad as a result of Hoyo's ineptitude. I mean, look at these colors. They don't.
These colors mix pretty well. Her design looks really good. I don't know what you're saying. You have the nightgown, then you have that long dress, right. Mix that with the hair and the things. Like this looks like a good design.
Go together at all. Oh my god, she's so beautiful. No, she's not. They don't go together at all. Oh my god, she's.
Look at this. Look at this spread art. Look at this art, dude. Like you're telling me this isn't tough? You're telling me this isn't good?
So beautiful. No, she's not. Her design is two different designs.
Moon God, the mini dress, damsel third for 200 or what?
Smashed together. In fact, these colors only look okay together when they purposefully give the outfit more purple tones, which they could have just as easily done in the game model, but they didn't.
It's called shading. It's called shading, dude. Like, obviously she's not even a good art. Like her little like OC model thing, okay, but like this is called shading. They shade the clothes and the hair and the stuff to make it look more aesthetically pleasing. The house is terrifying. She just has her eyes open. She's like, yeah. How's that terrifying, dude? What are we doing? What are you doing, bro?
Even her constellation is a mishmash of her Fatui aesthetic and her goddess aesthetic.
What Fatui aesthetic? It's a moon with the dove and Columbina's hair and like her thing, like her like headshot, basically. How does this contribute anything to Fatui? Like you see the constellation, right? Columbina has dove in her name, right? And then you have the moon representing the moon goddess, and then you have Columbina's hair. You have all that stuff.
We have both the traditional portrait shape that all the other gods in the game get, and also her symbol of the crying dove just shoved right in at the bottom.
It's called design. Where do you want it? Here, 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 here. Like, where do you want it, bro?
I completely believe the idea that Nodcry, or that this character at least, was rewritten at some point because there was no indication that they had any semblance of a plan for such a highly anticipated character. And the most frustrating part about all of this to me is that Hoyo actually leans into several of the things that people thought that the character is redeemed, and then time this have any characters who have questionable morals become playable. Most of the time, this ends up going in two ways. The first is that the character is redeemed and then becomes friends with the Traveler before becoming playable. This
No, actually.
is what has happened to every playable Harbinger thus far.
No. I mean, with Androna, Androna was chill with the Traveler, even like she never really disliked the Traveler. She ended up being chill with the Traveler. Like, she quite literally helped them defeat Dottore. Cause yeah, no, that's kind of bad. Also, Child
Taglia fight
respects the Traveler because they were a strong opponent. That's something that's normal. That's a lot of if you fight somebody who's stronger than you and it's a good fight, you respect them for fighting the good fight. What?
It's anything that moves, but he respects the Traveler even though they have different motives and values. He only ever wants a friendly spar with them. Scaramouche has no one else who understands his past and is connected with the Traveler in that way. Arlecchino is
Yeah, no, that's normal. You have two of the same kind of problems, so obviously you guys are going to become connected like that. If I have a problem of self-love and then there's also someone with a problem with self-love, we're going to connect over the fact that we have a problem with self-love. Like, what?
a ruthless woman who is grooming children to be a part of the Fatui.
What? She's not grooming children. There's a difference between grooming and indoctrination. Like, there's a big difference between that. I don't think she understands this difference. And ruthless is something too, because again, she's just a product of how she grew up, right?
But it turns out that the House of the Hearth is a lot less sinister under her rule, so that's okay too, I guess. And Columbina,
this battle was never about fate. It's about friends, family, and the home you
This is the most obnoxious thing I've ever experienced in my life.
The second way it goes is that the character cannot be redeemed and is therefore killed off so that they won't become playable. This is what happened to Signora way back in Inazuma.
But here's the thing, though, Signora, she's not even really Signora's not even one of those characters that should be playable. Like, Signora, first of all, is a dual element character, right? Genshin, and the fact that that was back at Inazuma, Genshin has Hoyoverse has no interest, had no interest, I'm not sure right now, but Hoyoverse had, zero interest in having a character who uses two different elements, Pyro and Cryo. That'd be so stupid to have her as a playable character, because, what would her kit be? You understand what I'm saying? What would her kit be?
And most recently, it happened to Dottore. This was honestly shocking to me.
Dottore? What do you mean that's shocking? Again, Dottore doesn't have any, Dottore doesn't have any kit-like abilities, right? Unlike Columbina, where Columbina is, that makes sense, right? Or, like Dottore is just Dottore. Dottore is just a guy who did human experiments and gave kids cancer. How is Dottore a good character? How's Dottore a good character to be playable?
especially considering how much of a fan favorite Dottore is.
No, he is not. No, he is not. Dottore is not a fan favorite. What are we talking about, bro?
Let me be clear, Dottore is a horrible person, and he should not be redeemed. We should be able to understand his motives without forgiving him for what he has done. He has imposed so much pain on so many people in the game, and his morals are extremely corrupt, but he's still very, very interesting, and you can sometimes almost understand where he's coming from, while still
Understand where he's coming from? Hello? Hello? Dude, he quite literally wanted to take over Notcry and be the new moon goddess and basically destroy it and rebuild it like how he likes it. And he tries to do that with Sumeru again. And he kidnapped kids, did experiments on them. Hell, he almost actually assaulted, he almost essayed Kale. Like, what?
not
What do you mean you can see where he's coming from?
condoning his methods, which I must stress is what makes a well-written villain. People love this guy's character.
No, they don't. No, they don't. I don't see anyone liking Dottore, and people who do like Dottore don't like the fact that he did that. They just like his design.
But now, he can never become playable because as of right now, he's dead. Little did you know, though, that there is a secret third option, which is what they did to Capitano, a combo of options 1 and 2. They redeemed him, and then still killed him off anyway. What a strange decision that was. Again, for a character that was extremely highly anticipated, they just threw in all this tragic backstory for him at the very end of the Notlan Archon quest, and then he fucking died right after that.
Capitano is one of those characters where I kind of understand if he was playable. Like, I kind of understand people want him to be playable, but once again, back to my original point, there are some characters in this game that cannot and should not be playable characters based off of what they do in the story, right? For Capitano would have been a cool Claymore user or a good physical defense like Eula, right? That would have been cool, right? But also, here's the thing: he died for a purpose. Like, his story was complete with his death, right? He was cursed by Conrad with the immortality. So, and when Moika was supposed to die, he was like, "Yeah, no, Moika, I'll take your spot because like I'm low key chill like that, low key, look Kenyanly." So like, I guess.
So none of it mattered at all. It's like they don't understand their own visual cues. A perfect example of this to me is Escoffier. Maybe, again, this might be just me, but even she gave me creepy vibes.
How did this give you creepy vibes? How? How did this make you be like, ooh, she's gonna be scary?
Maybe, again, this might be just me, but even she gave me creepy vibes in the silhouette teaser from the live stream where they revealed upcoming characters for 2025.
Which one is this one, Dahlia? I think that's Dahlia. So you have Ianson, Dahlia, Aoife, Skirk, Yumi Mizaki, Varessa, and Scoffier. Okay, how do you see this design? How do you see this design with a little French hat, with the little chef hat, the little chef knife, and the little mechanical tail? How do you see that and be like, yeah, no, she's gonna be a scary lunatic type character?
She has this hair that sticks out, the shape of which largely resembles horns and conveys a sort of like wildness of her.
Where do you see the horns? her hair is a curl. Like that is just a curl. Dude, that's actually the type of hair in popular in like Chinese and Japanese media. Like what?
Her personality. She has a devil's pitchfork tail that's positioned up where we can clearly see it, and she's holding a sharp knife up. Like, she looked psycho to me, and I was intrigued. And at least that would have been interesting and different. But no, not only is this design ass, but it's also incredibly misleading. She's just kind of a tsundere.
She's not even a tsundere. She just likes her food. She's like with Gordon Ramsay. Are you saying Gordon Ramsay's a tsundere? She's literally just Gordon Ramsay, but in Genshin. What are we talking about, bro? What are we talking about? She literally just likes her cooking. And also, how is that design misleading? And how is the design? How is this design ass? This is a tough design, you know? But it fits in with the Fontaine aesthetic.
But it's also incredibly misleading. She's just kind of a tsundere who's very particular about her food. I don't understand why they're like this, guys. One of my favorite comments that I've seen about this that just perfectly embodies my feelings on the matter is this from the unofficial Genshin subreddit. They're allergic to morally gray, redeemable, or just bad characters because they don't know how to write anything that isn't a shitty isekai where the main character wins using the power of friendship and his harem. Oh!
What do you mean harem? Harem, the harem. Mind you, there's only like 2 canonical characters in the entirety of Genshin, including non-playable characters, that have like a semi-crush on the Traveler. And that's Yume, Mizuki, and Yinger. And Yinger can also just be classified as a freaking weirdo and a pervert based on what she says and how she just is. But like Yume Mizuki is the only like valid take on the fact that like on not even the harem too, because like Yume Mizuki is just yeah. This.
Speaking of harem, it's an anime gacha game. You have to expect fan service. Okay, I know that. But Genshin used to be different from other games in its genre, and I mean that genuinely. There used to be a much better ratio of female to male 5-star characters than many other gacha games, because
Yeah, and they started lowering that count because of the fact that it's a gacha game. It's an anime gacha game. Like people, you don't like. Yeah, they should have more male characters in the game. I understand that, but you also again have to. This is also just 5 stars here. This is even 4 stars. This is even with 4 stars. If we include the 4 stars in this would be a way better ratio. But like again, it doesn't really matter. These the only bad character design that I see in this entire list here is Ito. I don't like Ito, and I never will like Ito.
a much better ratio of female to male 5-star characters than many other gacha games, because so many gacha games are targeted at male audiences who aren't perceived as being interested in the male characters.
Well, mind you, this was when they were first released, right? 1.0 was when they first released, and so it was like 2.0. We had Mondstadt, Sasha Liwa, you have Liwa and Inazuma, Sumeru, and like, you had Sumeru mainly, Fontaine, dabbling into the Natland, and you have Nodcry, right? I just realized every version is a new region. Oh my god, I'm so slow, dude. I just realized every new version is a new region. Okay, bro. 1.0 is Mondstadt and Leeway. 2.0 is Inazuma. 3.0 is Umeru. 4.0 is Fontaine. 5.0 is Natland. And 6.0 is Nodcry. Where's Nefa on this? Did she not even include Nefa? Oh, she did. Okay.
And there were sexy character outfits, especially on the women. Lots of detached sleeves.
Oh. Detached sleeves. Oh my god, I saw somebody's upper arm and their shoulder. Oh. Dude, it's a detached sleeve. What are we doing?
Short skirts, also known as the coochie flap. Thigh.
Oh, perfect. I wanted to rewind to this anyway. Like, Layla's design is fine. She just has detached, like, her shoulder. Like, bro, it's a shoulder. Calm down.
Lots of detached sleeves, short skirts.
Her waist is like right here. By the way, this is like thigh length, and then you have the legs here. Right, you have that. First of all, this is also like this is like a kimono kind of style. Like kimonos, a lot of kimonos are either long or short. Like you have those types of kimonos. Like that's not. This isn't new stuff.
Also known as the coochie flap. Thigh-high socks or boots. But
Oh.
Short skirts, also known as the coochie flap. Thigh-high socks.
Oh god, thigh eyes. Oh no, a very popular type of footwear slash leg wear, right? Oh my god, you have thigh eyes. This is such fan service. Oh my god, dude.
Socks or boots. But they were nowhere near as bad as they are now. These women are nearly naked now. And not only does that make me mad and uncomfortable.
Llama's the only one that kind of fits that description, by the way.
From a standpoint of being a woman who feels objectified just by looking at these designs, but also from a character design standpoint. I have quite a bit to say about the sharp drop-off in not only the quality of the Genshin character designs, but also in the tastefulness of them. To show you what I mean, we can talk about some early Genshin designs to compare them to more recent ones. I think it's important to discuss the physical elements of these characters first before we discuss the fan service elements of their presentation, writing, and personalities, because the physical appearance is the most obvious element, but I promise we will get to the other stuff in due time. Also keep in mind that I'm only going to be talking about female characters because most of the time, the male characters are almost always covered from chin to toe now, aka the fan service is not equal opportunity.
That is such a lie, and that is something I see so much in the Genshin community. People drool over the men. It is very equal opportunity. There's just not a lot of men in the game. That doesn't mean that there isn't any like male fan service.
One of the first characters I'll mention is Lisa, one of the very first anime fan servicey characters that we're introduced to in the game. She teases the traveler, she calls them cutie, and she's averse to doing any sort of work. Her character design exudes wealth. It is full of ruffles, still basically is character designs. Probably my favorite Fontanian design personally.
Navi is your favorite Fontaine design, okay.
This design is basically a sluttier version of a traditional French aristocratic gown, but it's
Excuse? I just have to start. I might just have to stop this. There, 30 minutes, not even like fully done, dude. Not even fully done. What do you mean?
It still covers most of her body. Navia's design exudes wealth. It is full of ruffles and jewels. She has these big, billowy curls. She's got this big hat decoration. Anything offensive of them.
Buff is a free app authorized by Overwolf. The way it works is you simply have Buff open in the background of your game while you're playing.
The Notlon ones, I just like. Let's take a walk through them, shall we? This ought to be fun. One of my least favorite recent characters is Seat Lolly. Again, I know a fan favorite, but I'm sorry, I do not like her. Her design certainly isn't the most offensive of the Notlon ones. I just find her annoying. I do think her English VA is very good at their job and that they do a great job with Seat Lolly's voice, but I really just don't like the character's writing. We will talk about.
You don't like Seat Lolly's writing or her design. I suppose, bro. I suppose. What's wrong with Sitlalish, dude? She's gonna pull some bull.
About that in a bit. One of the things I dislike about her design, though, is this goddamn leotard that she's wearing. This girl is literally wearing a thong. The sweater thing would go right up her butt crack.
Thong. That is not a thong. Dude, and also, why are you looking there and thinking about that in the first place? Like, if Hoyoverse is the weird one, Hoyoverse ain't even the weird ones here. You're just the weird one now. Because what do you mean that's like thong? No, this is literally just a style of clothing, huh? I don't even know if I spelled leotard. Like, this is again literally like a style of clothing, right? Like, this is literally a whole thing. What are you talking about, dude?
I cannot stand stuff like this. Also, side note real quick, I have to pause to talk about the state of Genshin character trailers. Can we talk about how these videos used to be actual showcases of the characters' combat abilities with like little elements of story sprinkled in? Ones that strike this balance well, in my opinion, are Nahida's trailer, Farina's trailer, and
Okay, good. She's not saying nothing about my goat. Okay, if she was saying anything bad about my goat, I might just have to comment down on this.
and Arlecchino's trailer. But now character trailers are either, one, headache-inducing fan edits with these wildly inappropriate aesthetic choices, like Nefer's trailer or Lolly's, or two,
those aren't even bad.
Music videos that make me feel like I'm going to implode from cringing, like Shilonen or Mawiko's trailer.
Shilonen's one was tough, and you were also singing praises to it literally earlier. And Malika's is also tough as well.
At most, these ones show the up to her back. That can't be comfortable. It goes all the way around between her legs up to her back. That design features a good impression of these characters. Anyway, back to Lolly's outfit. It's the same thing with Mawika.
Back to Lolly's outfit, and then pulls out Malika.
Her design features a zipper that goes all the way around between her legs up to her back. That can't be comfortable, right? Especially riding a motorcycle. And
biker outfit, leather, right? You're gonna have that.
Also, what exactly does this design communicate about Mawika other than being a biker? Yeah, I guess she's got sun imagery to represent her
sleeves. Look, you see that? You know, the sun, stuff
Archon hood. But to me, her hair is the only.
Like, even in this picture here shows it insanely good. Like, you have the sun earrings, the sun, like this necklace here. You know, you have the hair, the little like buckles stuff here on her thing. Like, you see that stuff, and like you're telling me that's not
only thing about her design that gives me Pyro Archon. But then, you know, all of that still goes away when she fights and her hair lights up. And then we have
because she's using the power of the pyro. Her hair is on fire. That's okay. Mind you, all the other Archons have this, by the way, just not like super noticeable. Like, you still notice it. Venti has it, not Natlan, Raiden has it. Zhongli has it.
We have Marissa. I was really excited about this design when I saw the silhouette in that same teaser we were talking about earlier. Oh my gosh, a girl that's a cow. Oh my god, that's gonna be
bull. Those are bull horns.
So cute. I love these braids and the big horns. I mean, I wonder what kind of color palette she'll have. Maybe like browns and greens, something earthy.
Browns and greens.
Because she's a farm animal.
You saw this silhouette and you thought browns and greens.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, I guess that works too. Just kidding. I hate this design. One of my least favorites in the entire game. I just like, what was the point, dude? Why is she so like kawaii themed? She's got hearts and bows everywhere.
Are we forgetting where she's from in that land? Are we forgetting how like
there's leg warmers and a cardigan? The skirt is pointless because it's too short to cover her ass.
That's also what the shorts are for. And
you expect me to believe that this is a Lucha Libre fighter? I know that luchadoras often dress in similar silhouettes to Veresa's outfit, but they didn't incorporate any elements of the culture that Veresa is inspired.
Yes, they did. First of all, you have the mask here too, which is it's really nice. Then also you have her kit. Her kit literally like accentuates the fact that she's supposed to be one of the female Mexican wrestlers. Like, dude, she quite literally slams on top of people. Like, that's literally one of the most popular moves they do in I think it was Macho Libre.
Inspired by, or the one that her name comes from. There are plenty of lucha libre fighters who
Lucha Libre, yeah,
incorporate elements of their culture into their costumes. They could have gotten really creative with it, but it's not like it even matters because we never even get to see her fight like a luchadora in the game. It's all just the food bullshit and falling on her ass all the time. It's especially frustrating because the
I realized that these are Lucha Libre rules, and I'm talking more about quest appearances here. What are you talking about? Quest appearances, Sunaloin. Like, this is again one of these. These are literally the stuff that they do, and you're complaining about it and saying how they don't incorporate anything about Lucha Libre when she has the mask and all that.
animators have been getting really creative with the normal attack animations lately. They could have.
Like, you're telling me that her normal attack
all the time. It's especially frustrating because the animators have been getting really creative with the normal attack animations lately.
Right hook, left hook, and then
they could have gone crazy with her and made her do insane moves. Something like this.
Mind you. Also, I'm pretty sure. Hold on. This is something that's literally one of the things that she jumps up and drop kicks a person. Like, look at, she stands on the ring stuff, right? Drops down and just slams, and then you see the ring. Like, what?
Like I said earlier, I was interested too in Escoffier's design based on the silhouette, but I was also very disappointed with this reveal. Not only does this outfit make no sense with regards to breaking up any colors or with this weird heart theming that she has, similar to Veresa, again, I don't know why they keep doing this, but her outfit is literally just the sexy chef Halloween costume. She's wearing an apron with nothing underneath it.
This is a dress. You can clearly tell this is a dress.
Not only is that insulting, but it's boring and it's lazy. You guys literally couldn't bother to design a shirt for her to wear under this apron. They would just rather put more effort into the detailing on her fucking stockings than design her.
It's a simple lining. It's simple lines, gangling. Look at, you're telling me this is an apron? That's just a dress.
Shirt. Skirt makes me mad in a similar way because they literally took an already very revealing outfit and made her more naked when she made the transition.
Son, Skirt's design is fine. She has like the crystal like abyss thing, like the for her arms and her legs. Those are tough, right? You know, the heels and all that stuff. Then you have this like little like dress ish kind of thing, which is also really tough, right? Like, you have the whole design like this. When you pay attention to the characters, the fact that she says she's not a lore reader, and the fact that she says that discredits almost everything she says in this, because this looks exactly, this fits her almost exactly how she is in the story.
From NPC, the playable character. Llama is one of the ones that makes me the saddest because I actually really love.
Llama's design is the only one I can admit is really revealing.
Of the way that she's written.
It's also, but it also like represents her down to earth thing. Again, I also kind of wish Hoyoverse did this a bit better.
In the narrative, her voice acting is so beautiful and gentle, and I find her quiet strength to be really, really compelling. It just sucks because she would be perfect if she wasn't almost naked. For Llama, I don't feel hatred like I do for Veresa because Llama has good writing to make up for her design.
How? You're also using the fact that Llama was one of the main characters in the Archon quest against how Veresa was, and how you didn't have to read as much to understand Llama, but you do with Veresa. What are we talking about, dude? What are we doing? Our minds are shrinking. Our brains are shrinking, dude. Our brains are shrinking. Because what do you mean you are like complaining about the fact that uh Varessa Varessa's design is like that, and then comparing it to Llama, who, mind you, Llama was in the Archon quest, played a major role in it too. And then you have Varessa, who wasn't in the Archon quest but has a story, that's really good, by the way. I recommend you should check it out. I'm not gonna spoil it, but you should.
I just feel bad for her. Like, oh my god, you poor woman. You're probably so cold and uncomfortable all the time. Actually, she's named after a creature from Baltic folklore that's traditionally depicted as a nude woman. That is literally just another excuse to make a woman with large breasts walk around with a single piece of cloth covering her ass. You can't convince me that Llama isn't meant to be sexualized by the game when she makes this face while bound by rear.
Like, son, it's so
walk around with a single piece of cloth covering her ass.
Like, hold on. I'll mute the video because I don't want to hear her voice while I show this off. Look, the traveler gets captured and makes that same face. Flynn's does as well, but not as much. And so does Llama. Like, Traveler, Llama, and I'm pretty sure all the other characters also did that. What are we talking about?
I actually really like the top of it. Her hairstyle is really cool. I love the deep and the vibrant gold and green colors, but it's just another design in this long pattern of just giving up on the legs of these female character designs. Not only does this white skirt completely blend into her insanely pale skin, but they also make no effort to give her some soft.
I love how she's not showing the in-game model. Show the in-game model for Nefer. Also Nefer is also Nefer's makes sense though. Like, again, like, she's like an intelligence thing. Like, this makes sense for her.
Or stockings to balance out.
She's also I'm pretty sure she's also from the desert, so like it also like fits her thing.
Colors or make the design more interesting. Like, I really love this fan design that not only gives her a darker skirt, but also some snake pattern thigh-high socks. I really wish that they had leaned into her snake.
What, she was just complaining about thigh highs earlier. Why you say it's good now?
More. As a side note, but alas, it's always the same. A super detailed design from the waist up and absolutely nothing except maybe a thigh garter on the legs. Again, Columbina falls into this too. She wears this super.
Columbina is a short girl and has that little, like, that dress, and then has that big flowy thing right there.
Detailed tiny dress, one that's so short it makes her legs look obscenely long like a spider, and then she doesn't even wear shoes, just these fuck-ass water orb heels because they couldn't bear to let a woman walk flat on her feet. And
then she also showed a clip of Columbina walking flat on her feet earlier, and also the majority of the characters in this game, a lot of the female characters in this game also do walk flat on their feet. What are we talking about, dude?
The way that these women are drawn sometimes is so stupid too. Even the character designs that I consider to be better than these suffer from the fan service. Even though I wish her skirt was longer to add some variety to the designs, I really like.
So you like Mizuki's, but you don't like Varessa's. You like Mizuki's, but you don't.
Mizuki's design, but so over my face. Oh no! Oh my god.
Chicken bacon ranch, Zaxby style. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's.
Dude.
This is also the same, but at the same time, they do the same thing with Mawika. Her back is arched so heavily just so that they can display both her cleavage and her ass.
This is how you are when you ride a motorcycle, Sunilin.
Varese is also the same, plus she's making that face like, oh, you. With Mawika, her back is arched so heavily just so that they can display both her cleavage and her ass. Varese is also the same.
I'll do this pose right now. Like, that does not hurt to do. Excuse me? This is a very standard pose. This not physically, this does not hurt.
Same, plus she's making that face.
If this hurts to do, like, physically, this physically hurts you to do, then there might be something wrong with you. There might be something wrong with you if this physically hurts.
It's like, oh, you caught me, and I have food all over my face. Oh no! Oh my. Her ass. Varese is also the same, plus she's making that face like, oh, you caught me, and I have food all over my face. Oh no!
Yeah, she's like, yeah, she's eating. She's food. She has a crumb on her face. Yeah, she's gonna.
Oh my god. I hated saying that out loud. And see, Lali is literally squishing her chest so heavily with what? A stuffed animal? A pillow? That is not how this part of the body works. This is only one of the anime fan service tropes.
I have a friend who I showed this to. right? Because I saw clips of this. I saw clips of this video on TikTok. I showed my friend this clip of the video. She said, "Yes, this is exactly actually how that would work." Look at how Lolly's arms positioned, right? She's pressing it up, 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 upward motion.
Squishing her chest so heavily with what? A stuffed animal? A pillow? That
The fact that she doesn't even know what this is the fact it shows that she doesn't even pay attention to the character story.
is not how this part of the body works. This is only one of the anime fan service tropes that Genshin has increasingly leaned into over time. As the game progresses, we only get more and more characters that fit the tsundere character type. Oh my god, it's over, guys. We only get more and more characters that fit the tsundere character type. Oh my god, I can't fucking say this. As the game progresses, we only get more and more characters that fit the tsundere character type, which I personally find annoying. Siwali and Sandrone are the biggest examples of this, but I would also
Sandrone and Sitlali are the biggest tsunderes in the entire game. Yes, I agree with that.
argue that Escoffier falls into this trope sometimes. Somewhat related is
Escoffier just likes food.
the increasing number of characters who have very obvious crushes or similar devotion to the Traveler, all of whom seem to be women, ironically.
Only character. Yeah, but also
Ayaka was a big one.
Ether is the only Ether is the canonically accurate choice at the start. In almost all of Genshin's promo art and all that stuff, you see Ether as the main thing, right? They'll have Lumine, but they'll rarely have Ether. Oh, Jade Animations posted something.
Are you chill and cool? Then sounds like you need the chill and cool new merch we just made. Tostada keychain, Ari keychain, sick fanny pack, beach towel ready for some rays. And you can't make a chill line without an iconic Hawaiian print shirt. I know I say it every time, but I love how this whole bundle came together and hope you can make some great memories repping them. It all goes away August 10th, so don't let these chill guys slip through your fingers. As always, jadenanimations.com, and I'm excited to post the next video soon. Keep a lookout, and hope you enjoy, and bye.
Tough. I'm trying to see if I can get one of those.
On, but since then we've had Mizuki blushing around the Traveler, and the game purposefully putting her into situations in which we're meant to like cutely embarrass her. It's clearly meant to have a teasing romantic tone to it. Similarly, we see Lali.
The Yume Mizuki one's the only one, as I said before, I'm pretty sure like near this part of the video or during the fan service part, it's the only thing I was like, yeah, Mizuki's like the one that makes the most sense. Also, fun fact, Jet only has romantic undertone with the female traveler.
Has a big crush on the Traveler, made evident by being portrayed like this in her Valentine's Day art, and by all the times the really meant to have a teasing romantic tone to it. Similarly, we see Lali has a big crush on the Traveler, made evident by being portrayed like this in her
This is some tough Valentine's Day art. Hold on.
Valentine's Day art, and by all the
Hold on. I got.
It's clearly meant to have a teasing romantic tone to it. Similarly, we see Lali has a big crush on the Traveler, made evident by being portrayed like this. In her Valentine's Day art, and by all the times the game has given us very convenient plot-related ways to read each other's thoughts. Dude, this shit is painful to play. And then
yeah, they can read each other's thoughts because they have that like thing.
Most recently, we've had Columbina, who again has only one true friend in the Traveler, and she cutely hides behind you, and you get to feed her. Again, these are all very romance-coded behaviors. The Traveler is.
You tell me y'all don't feed your friends all the time? Like y'all don't give your friends food all the time? Like what?
Literally represented as her savior and dance partner in her trailer. It is a pattern at this point. Can we please?
Like I feel like that whole Columbina thing is just amazing, the fact that she has no friends. Cause even I give my friends some of my food all the time. My friends try and give me sometimes some of their food. Like that's just something a lot of people do with each other. A lot of people give their friends their food, right? Sure, you also see it in relationships, but like there's also just that.
Women have more interesting relationships with the main character than being their shy waifu all the time. And again, this fan service is never equal opportunity. The male characters never get to have interactions or
Yes, there is, by the way.
Relationships like this with the player. Why not? We also have characters.
Also, because the Lumine isn't the canonically accurate pig, so obviously there isn't going to be many like interactions with canonically Lumine and the certain other characters when like canonically none of those characters would have ever met.
Specific tropes. Veresa, I'm getting to you now. She was tailor-made for the feeder fetish. I kid you not, in one of her trailers they animate food going into her stomach, and her stomach like jiggles.
Feeder fetish. I gotta slow this down.
Now, she was tailored for the feeder fetish. I can't. Of her trailers, they animate food going into her stomach, and her stomach like jiggles and stuff.
And then transitions to that soup, curry, I think.
And oh my god, it is genuinely one of the most sickening and uncomfortable things I've seen coming out of this company.
That is not. That is. There, I've seen so many anime game do that exact thing, and it's not. No one complains about it. But the second it's with Genshin and Evan, and it's with a plus sized character, and it's like that. It was this character who loves food. Everyone's just like,
Her entire thing is eating comically large amounts of food. She has nothing else that matters to her.
that's tough though. Even if that were true, that's tough. You're telling me you don't mess with a character that just eats comically large amount of food?
Her character, to her personality, or anything about her. It's not like this would necessarily be bad on its own, but guys, she is literally a cow. This character is extremely insulting.
Bull. Lucha Libre.
And I hate her. And that's not even mentioning how she literally fights by falling on her ass. When you are playing her, she will fall and her ass will be facing the camera for multiple seconds before she gets up. And your eye is naturally drawn there because of her bright pink tail against.
That's not your eye. My when I played Varessa, my eye's not naturally drawn to her ass. What? Yo, I think this is just a mission of Gil at this point.
Her black skirt. And then when she gets up, she'll like dust herself off and be like, "Owie, that hurt. Shut up."
Yeah. When you fall on your butt, you want to dust yourself off. When you if I jump into the air, land flat on my ass, I get up, then that's something I'm gonna do is just dust myself off. And mind you, people don't even that. And mind you, no one even literally lets a full animation play because people are when you do that, that's for fighting. No one lets full animations play when they fight.
And then we got Nefer and her whole like clones thing, and the clones are like her servants, and she poses with them in sexually charged ways.
Poses with her clones in sexually charged.
And her whole like clones thing, and the clones are like her servants, and she poses with them in sexually charged.
How is this sexually charged? Sunyan, how are Nefer's clones sexually charged? What are we saying? We're saying anything and everything now, dude. Oh my god.
Ways like she's holding this one's face, and this one is laying in her lap.
Two completely different times, by the way.
Clones are like her servants, and she poses with them in sexually charged ways, like she's holding.
This one is in her like, I think her pole art, her like wish art, right? Yeah, dude. This is even like you can like okay, she's holding her clone's head.
This one's face, and this one is laying in her lap.
Okay, so what? That one's laying in her lap.
Like, I don't have to like spell out the way that this is incredibly fetishistic, right?
You're gonna have to because this isn't fetishistic.
I mean, Nefer literally does the stripper crawl across the table toward the camera in her trailer. She's meant to give femdom.
Dude, can we normalize doing simple actions and not view them always in a sexual light? Crawling across the table is not something that's automatically sexual. If the character in the context in the character teaser, she literally is interrogating somebody, and the guy is genuinely scared of her.
And I mean, like the clones basically serve no purpose to her theming as a character. I think they could.
Yes, they do.
Have taken them out of her whole thing, and it wouldn't have made a difference to her kit or to her gimmicks. They literally only did it because they knew people would drool over it. Editing really.
No one drools over it.
Here. In the process of making this video, Linnea has been released, and
oh god, I've seen so much stuff on TikTok about this. Hold on, we gotta put back in normal speed for this.
I just have to interject to say, what the fuck were they thinking with this character? I feel like a crazy person because I feel like I'm the only one who doesn't think she's adorable, and in fact recognizes her for the creepy freak that she is.
Creepy freak that she is. Okay. Okay, so that's how we're starting this claim.
doesn't think she's adorable. I feel like a crazy person. What the fuck were they thinking with this character? I feel like a crazy person because I feel like I'm the only one who doesn't think she's adorable and in fact recognizes her for the creepy freak that she is.
Not even 20 seconds into this Linnea claim, and she's calling Linnea a creepy freak. Son, you're the exact people who dislike Linnea's kind.
First of all, she clearly has absolutely no respect for living things that are not traditionally human. She keeps
Because, dude, she literally hasn't seen them before and she thinks they're cute. It is natural to want to go and pet them. Also, Melusines, look, Melusines are cute. You're telling me you wouldn't want to pet those?
asking to touch and pet the Melusines as if they are not whole people. It's especially creepy because the Melusines
Like, you're telling me Melusines aren't cute. You're telling me you want to go like, aw, and like just pat their head? What?
are made to look like children. Having an adult character who
she's 500 years old, but she's also like, she looks like a teenager.
is high-key obsessed with them and can't treat them as the people they are was a
she likes stuff that are cute, and because she hasn't seen these things before. Yo, doesn't she like have autism? Isn't it like almost like canonically accurate that she has autism or that she's autism coded? That's literally one of the things. It's like that's literally an autism. That's literally one of the things with autism. Like, people will get a very like people who are autistic will struggle with boundaries and all that stuff. And then ADHD is one of the main things I see with Linnea. But you also have to understand, like, Linnea, she doesn't see these like cute things. She doesn't see cute Nickelmadas or the Melusines all the time. So when she does see them, she wants to be like, oh, so cute, and she wants to write them down in her book. And that's what she does even after it.
fucked up move on Hoyo's part. They literally make a point to emphasize the humanity of the Melusines and how they had to fight to be accepted in Fontanian society, and now we have a playable character who we are supposed to think is cute, harassing them and treating them as though they are pets. It's disgusting.
Comparing somebody who's autism coded and somebody who genuinely just wants to see these people and interact with them to somebody who's a genuine creep and a weirdo in two different things is insane.
Her trailer is sickening for the same reason. She fantasizes about being rubbed up on by sea.
This is valid though. Like, okay, look at it from Linnea's perspective. You see two cute people. You see a cute cat, and you see a cute Melusine or whatever these things look like. Whatever they look like, and like for like real life pets or whatever. And you automatically picture yourself being rubbed up on by them.
Adrienne, who again looks like a child, and Kirra, along with other Melusines and Nekomata. It reads as extremely fetishistic to me, which is a problem when the people that she's fantasizing about
she likes cute characters. She likes cute creatures and characters. How is that something wrong? I don't show interest in people I don't think are cool or cute or look good or just cool overall in Genshin either.
look like children. She chases these people around and doesn't seem to let up after being told multiple times to back off. There are multiple promotional materials in which she asks to touch a Melusine, which makes me think that it's happened more than once or twice. I mean, at least her character quest wasn't as bad. I won't spoil it, obviously, because I said I wouldn't talk about content past Luna 5.
Dude, if you did, you would just be bashing on her even more. Like, son, I just realized, where are her eyes? Are these her eyes or are these? I can't, dude. This video, I'm so glad. I might just skip to this last part here.
But I still don't find this character appealing or compelling at all, as I feel like I've made it very clear. She doesn't even have an interesting design to make up for.
This design isn't, and she has the backpack where Lumi comes out of. She has the little treat stuff here too. She has the notebook to keep to like, write everything. Like, how's that?
For it. She's literally just a copy paste of.
She has darker colors with cameras and that feather thing. This one is lighter colors and just actual like.
Charlotte.
What?
Even the wish art is the same.
Okay, yeah, yeah, I can see I can see the similarity. But again, like, it makes sense. Like, what else do you want them to do?
I haven't felt such a burning hatred for a character in a long time. Hoyoverse had the opportunity to portray Linnea as a character with a disability that made it difficult for her to fit in, because that was largely the reason the myth of changelings arose in the first place. The fairies were thought to swap their fae children for a human child, which was how several mythologies explained neurodivergence in children. Instead of portraying a really heartwarming story about a character who's autism-coded, we instead get a freak who can't stop harassing anyone with non-human features. Ironic, considering how they want to portray her as an outcast who had no friends because she was a fae who...
If you're an outcast, you've never seen, like, those types of people before, obviously you're gonna be like, oh...
looked different. Also, can we talk about how her lore makes no sense because the Saritsa and the Fatui are meant to be hunting down fae and eradicating them, hence why Flynn's hides his identity. But it's just completely fine that Linnea is outwardly a fae, perhaps even more obvious.
Also, maybe because they don't know, they don't see Linnea, the fact that Linnea's a fae, what?
Obviously so than Flynn's because she doesn't cover the wings on her head or her crystal markings. Whatever. I really hope people open their eyes to how terrible this character is. Sorry if you feel kinship with her. She is not cute. She is not funny. She
What's that, Prune? I just realized Prune is in this trailer.
has no appealing character traits.
She finds Klee cute. Like, I also do find Klee cute. Like, who doesn't?
And there are far better characters out there whose stories are about yearning for acceptance. Anyway, back to the video. Before we move on to the last part, I feel the need to debunk something I've heard both in this fandom and in other fandoms with regards to sexualized character design. After all this complaining, people are probably thinking, it sounds like this game is causing you lots of undue stress. Maybe you should just quit and play something else. Look, maybe you don't get what it feels like to invest 5 years of your life into a game like this, with ever-expanding lore and new characters being introduced all the time.
I do. I've been playing Genshin for about 3-4 years now. I did take a good break from Genshin. I did stop playing Genshin for a couple like 5 straight months on end because I just didn't really like playing the game all that much. Like, excuse me, what? What are we saying?
I guess maybe I didn't know what I was getting myself into at the time, back in 1.0 when I first started out. It sucks to invest so much of your time into a game only for it to let you down. I'm not gonna pretend that Genshin was perfect back then. There are so many weird, like, cop-outs that Hoyo pulls so that they can have sensitive themes in their games but not actually have them. Like Bennett saying that he has multiple dads, only for you to realize that it's because he's been raised by many older men in the Adventurers Guild, not because he has queer parents. But the problem
It's illegal. Look, the parents in China, and they had it in Zenless, yes. Or was it Zenless? I forgot. But they got in trouble with the government of China because they're a Chinese game. What are we talking about?
have only gotten worse with time. There are even more cop-outs. Like Flynn's being a victim of suicidal ideation, but like, he actually just went sleepy for a really long time. Or like Nicole, who is mute in name only. She just talks in people's heads using her magic, so Hoyo can pretend that they have a
How else do you want a playable mute character to communicate? ASL? Like, I mean, you could do ASL, but then again, like, Chinese game CSL, you're gonna have to do Chinese sign language, and then it's gonna have to be translated all over stuff. And it's gonna be this whole thing. Yeah, it's just okay.
Or like Nefer, experiencing racism at the hands of academia, while having the palest skin you could possibly imagine.
People with pale skin can still experience racism, and she was experiencing racism from where she was.
Regarding gameplay, as I said, the shill for current characters has only gotten worse with time, with boss enemies made specifically to be defeated by certain limited characters. Fontaine was the first region to introduce region-specific battle mechanics, Bond of Life, and Pneumosia, but
New Lucia isn't really even like a big battle mechanic.
It wasn't so completely baked into the combat like Night Soul or Lunar Reactions are. You didn't need Bond of Life or Pneumocia to beat anything in the game, but the Lord of Eroded Primal Fire weekly boss requires a character
I beat this using the trial Moika.
who can fly Night Soul.
The game also gives you a trial character for this, and you can beat this boss even without Moika, or even without any Nightline characters.
Damage. The game before the gate is built for quick application of the frozen reaction, which is the specialty.
What is this team? Flinch, Chongyun, Inefa, Kogami. What are we doing? She has better off-field cryo application than this. Dude, literally, Kaya would be better. Why are we using Chong? Yo, I'm starting to realize a pattern. Chong Yun's my only cryo unfielder, and I love him. Chong Yun's a little kid. Chong is like 12.
Of Skirt and Escoffier. It's unfair to people who aren't looking to pull every single character, like me, because I only pull characters I like, or free to play people who aren't.
So I'm starting to see why she's so mad. It's because oh, I don't like any of the characters in this region. Oh, I'm not gonna pull for any of the characters. Oh, I'm gonna cry when Genshin starts releasing stuff that's really centered around the new characters. Oh my, I'm gonna cry when I struggle with it. Oh, that's your fault. I did it too, and I didn't complain. I didn't use any Natlan characters. I didn't have any Natlan characters. Hell, I didn't have a single Natlan 5-star up until like just now with Sandrone and Silali rerun. I didn't get Moika because you know Genshin hates me and doesn't want to give me my 5 stars early, and I just didn't really get on every single day and farm. But you know, it is what it is. So like you can't complain about that, dude. Like what are we doing?
Looking to spend what could easily be hundreds of dollars on filling out their 5-star roster. Also like me, because I don't have that kind of disposable income.
Like you don't even have to drop $400. If you drop $100, this is that $475. This is just like this is just to guarantee you get the character that's on banner, right? Right? That's at the maximum you have to spend, right? This is also very inaccurate too, because like $100 can get you around 60-ish pulls if it's your first time buying it, and then like after that, like even like a good $200-300, like you could easily get a guaranteed character on banner. Even then, there's also you have to also factor in earlies, 50-50 wins, like.
Seeing Flynn's in that Nodcry teaser was
capturing Radiance as well.
Lifesaver for me. Holy shit, a beautiful 5-star man with a mysterious backstory who's actually part of the meta, and oh my god.
Flynn's is okay.
Low in too. That face card is diabolical. It's been so long since I've been excited.
Yo, Lohan's a kid, and she's an adult. Whoa, okay, buddy. Okay, I think you're just a pedo. I think she's the real pedo, bro. I think she might be the real pedo, dude, because the fact that you say Chongyun is you love Chongyun, 12-year-old by the way. You say Lohan's face card is diabolical. Teenager by the way. And then you want to go and glaze these other younger characters, younger male characters, children who are minors by the way, teenagers, children by the way, and then hate on the adult female characters.
About characters like this. Most of the time now, I'm just like, well, Nicole's not my favorite, but I guess I'll pull for her in the future if
I love Nicole's design.
have no other characters I want. Or, well, Llama's design is pretty terrible, but I like her personality a lot. I guess I could get her if I have an.
I love Llama's design. Also, dude, I have such crappy luck when it comes to pulling new characters on release, but when it comes to reruns, I can get them pretty much easily. Must I say, I got Linnea and Nicole on their first release. I got Nicole and Linnea on release. Those are my only two Nodcry 5 stars that I got on release.
extra premium gems. So yeah, that's a lot of flaws. But guess what, guys? Hoyoverse fucking got me. Almost 6 years ago now, Hoyoverse wormed its way into my brain and put my mind in a Genshin Impact-shaped chokehold. At this point, I have so many mixed emotions about this game and its fan base. I love the beautiful fan art I see every day. I love the sense of that I was invested, giving us hints of sibling only a little at a time, all culminating in a quest called Bedtime Story a couple years ago, which is one of the only Genshin quests that's ever made me cry. I want to see the traveler reunited with their twin at the end of this journey. I want to explore Snezhnaya and Conria. Even though Alice's design ended up being a little copy-paste, I adore her and I want to pull her and put her in a team with Klee and Durin. I want to see Dainsliff become and Conria go, which is one of the only Genshin quests that's ever
Hold up, what she said about Alice?
made me cry. I want to see the traveler reunited with their twin at the end of this journey. I want to explore Snezhnaya and Conria. Even though Alice's design ended up being a little copy-paste, I adore her and I
Yo, Klee is her daughter. Klee is her daughter. Of course, the designs are going to be are going to be identical. What?
I want to pull her and put her in a team with Klee and Durin. I want to see Dainsliff become playable and
Dainsliff being playable may happen, but I don't think it will. I don't think it should, to be honest.
hopefully introduce a new element into the gameplay. Who knows? Maybe Genshin will continue to disappoint me. Maybe there are no good villains.
These are not becoming playable, dude. None of these characters, both of those are not becoming playable. Holy.
Left to meet, and maybe a playable woman in a freezing cold climate will be wearing a bikini. I'm still gonna be pissed about that. But it's quests like Durin's story quest, a beautiful tale of the devotion of motherhood and learning to make your own way in life, that give me very cautious optimism. I know that Hoyo is capable of amazing storytelling. That's what makes it so frustrating every time this game lets me down. But Hoyo, you've still got me for a while. Nice going, you made me addicted to your game, but the good stuff is...
Notice how all her gameplay has been a flints. All of the male characters, dude. Dude, okay, so we basically finished the video. Overall thoughts and stuff. The character is okay. Like, not the character, what am I saying? The takes are horrible. Okay? Like, the overarching theme, like, oh, Hoyoverse has some fan service and Hoyoverse is a little bit off when it comes to certain character designs and stuff, which I can admit to. But she has this problem. She brings up Zenless Zone Zero. I don't think I watched the part on stream here, but I saw that she brings up Zenless Zone Zero as one of her points. When Zenless Zone Zero has a very, very worse and has a worse fan service problem than Genshin. Zenless Zone Zero has way more fan service than Genshin does. So using Zenless as like one of your talking points when it has more fan service than Genshin, it's just something that takes me off. There was the whole Linnea is this claim. Linnea is a pedo, creepy weirdo. That I just don't like. I don't like that. Why are you calling my goat creepy and a pedo? What are we saying, dude? Like, and here's the thing. I've been playing Genshin for 3 years now, right? Genshin's been out for 6 years. I've been playing it for 3. It's a good game, right? With good stuff and good trade. Like, I think the reason why she has such a problem with Natlan and Nodcry is because those regions really need you to pay attention to the lore and the story, right? And I feel like if you say yourself that you're not a lore player and then you go on to complain about the story and this lore, you lose all credibility when it comes to that. The only takes that I would say are worth looking at if you're looking to research this video is The only good valid points for this video that I say you should look at is the character ones, the character design ones. And even then, she just jumps points so much. She never really sticks with one point unless it's just completely hating on a character, right? She likes Llama's design more than she likes Skirk's or Escoffier's, and then wants to complain how, oh, it's so revealing and oh my god. Dude, you literally have a Scorpier's design, which is like super good, and then you complain about how Llamas Llamas is so revealing, but she has such a good character story that helps her with that. And then you want to go and talk crap about Escoffier's design. What are we doing? What are we saying? Right? Now, do I agree with her? No. Nothing she said in this video I agree with. She has zero reading comprehension when it comes to Hoyoverse and their way of writing. She has zero like common sense, I'm assuming, I mean at this point. And I feel like she tries to spread the message like Genshin can't tackle racism and all this stuff, and then saying all this stuff like how, oh, it's so misogynistic, while she's being misogynist, right? These don't take these, like, don't look all the way into these. However, I feel like this video was less of a what I don't like about Genshin and more of a confession video. Because what do you mean at multiple points in the video you say the kid male characters you love that she says in multiple times in the video, and she even glazes Lohan too. All the teenager and kid characters, male characters, she glazes and loves. And then with the female ones, you just don't like any of them. It's just like you pulled Kokomi, but you didn't pull Escoffier when you were complaining about fish stuff. You were complaining about thigh highs, and then you liked how someone's fan design had Nefer with thigh highs. Like what is this hypocritical contradiction, dude? Like, she has so many wrong points and so much like disorganizedness. I just think that's what stops her from making any valid points. But yeah.